Get up, we've got things to do. Every day brings something new. Music's all around, we're dancing to its every sound, while we're hanging with our best friends, singing out. It isn't hard when you're in your backyard. We've got the whole wide world in our yard, for us to explore. That's why we're always back for more. Come sing out in our yard. We're back in the backyard. There. Absolutely beautiful. All that's left to do now is hope that the Wasp Queen approves of my hard work. You can do this, Pipp. You can do this. She's just another ordinary talking insect, just like you. So why am I nervous? I believe in myself. I believe in myself. I believe. Oh, here she comes. Big moment for all of bee kind, and quite likely wasp kind as well. Queen Zipperina of the Wasps. It is an honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Pleasure.
Your Majesty.
Well, shall we? I do hope you find the location comfortable. Goldenrod tea with honey?
Yes, please.
So, shall we begin the topics of discussion?
Sounds like a good place to start, Your Majesty. So, what's it like being the queen of the honeybees? Always having honey at your fingertips.
Oh, I wouldn't say we always have honey at our fingertips. We're just blessed to have this beautiful meadow and all of these flowers so close to the hive.
Yeah. You sure are.
It is very convenient for us bees. It is my job, after all, to make sure all of my bees are all cared for and everything is going smoothly. But just because the flowers are all close by, it doesn't mean it's all fun and games for us bees. What with bears trying to take our honey all the time, we need as much as we can get. But over the years of ruling my hive, I've come to realize that we are not the only ones who pollinate the flowers or eat honey, are we?
Nope, you are not.
So, what's it like for the Wasp Queen? I hope times aren't too tough. Are you getting enough to eat?
You want my answer in details, or do you want the summarized version?
I'll happily take the summary.
In short, we're starving.
Starving?
Yes! You've got all the flowers. We've barely got enough pollen just to scrap from the leftovers that you've got.
Is that why I often find your worker wasps stealing from my bees before they can get the honey into the hive?
Pretty much. I'm proud of my workers. May not do. I know most insects probably won't agree with our methods, but it's what we gotta do to survive.
So you are taking honey to feed the workers?
Well, duh! It's what a queen does. A queen takes care of her people. That's priority number one, whether you're a wasp or a honeybee.
Wow. I was right.
But even with all the honey we take, we can never get enough to eat. We barely have enough to survive as it is. My workers and I together only got like 4 balls of pollen.
Only 4? Goodness gracious. I never knew it was that tough for wasps to get stuff to eat.
It's not that way for most of the wasps out there. Most of them just sting for the heck of it out there. It's no wonder most insects don't like to socialize with them.
Do you sting anyone that comes into contact with you?
Not unless they want to pick a fight. But we will sting, mercilessly, if we feel like we are being threatened by the slightest. So don't you go thinking we're goody two-shoes just because we don't sting right off the bat.
Oh, don't worry, I don't. Well, getting back to the matter at hoof, I'd like to discuss possibly splitting the meadow.
Splitting Kimura Meadows? What are you intending to do? Dig out a trench halfway through the hills?
You're funny.
Thanks, I suppose.
But no, I was actually talking about sharing the meadow, sharing the flowers, sharing the pollen, sharing the honey.
You serious?
Yes. Of course, we will need to go over the details of it, but I want to be sure that there is enough nectar, enough honey for every insect. No insect in Kimura Meadow should go on starving, especially not in springtime.
You serious, Your Majesty?
Well, of course. Ah!
What in the buzzing world was that?
Well, I'll be. It's a big hoof.
And that big hoof almost crushed us. Come on, Queen Pipp. Let's go give that big old beast a piece of our minds.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What is it you intend on doing?
Stinging it. What else? It's probably gonna crush us the moment it sees that it didn't finish the job. We gotta sting it before it crushes us.
Well, aren't we just talking about how you and your hive don't sting most of the time, unlike most wasps in the world?
Yeah, unless we're provoked to sting. And that big hoof just provoked us to the bone.
Well, that doesn't mean that stinging isn't the answer to everything, Queen Zipp.
All right. Well, then tell me, Queen Honeybee, what would you suggest we do?
Maybe we should talk to the big hoof beast?
Oh man, you are hilarious. Talking to the big hoof beast. Oh my Oh my Buzz, you're really serious. That's suicide! She'll never listen to a bee. She'll never listen to a bee.
We can talk just like the big hoofs. The language that we bees and wasps speak due to the flowers in Kimura Meadows is the exact same language that the big hoofs speak. I know because I've heard them speak before.
Just because you speak the same language as the bees doesn't mean the bees gonna listen to you.
Well, I believe that she will.
Did you just mispronounce believe?
We bees pronounce it as Bee-lieve. And I am going to try. If she doesn't wish to listen to reason, and she actually tries to hurt me like you say, then that's her problem.
You know she's not gonna listen, right? And if she tries to stop on you, that technically is your problem.
Excuse me. Excuse me. Excuse me! Huh? Eep! Sorry that I scared you, little bee. Now, who was it that called out for me? Hello? Hold everything. You can talk? Yes, and I can sing too. La 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 la. Oh, my beeswax, this is so amazing!
Yeah, and she's not the only one that can talk around here.
Eep! A wasp! Yeah, it's okay. She's not gonna sting you. Right, Queen Zipp?
Yeah, right.
Seen bees and wasps in Kimura Meadows before, but I've never heard them talk before.
Well, it wouldn't particularly benefit us if the world knew we could speak.
Yeah, we insects tend to keep to ourselves. Can every creature in Kimura Meadows talk?
Well, I can't exactly speak for every creature in the whole wide universe, but as far as we know, yeah.
Hold it. Did I almost step on you too?
Yeah. You kinda almost stepped on both of us. And you also kinda crashed our tea party that we were having under the great oak.
Oh shoot, I am so sorry. Again. Oh, I didn't mean to. I guess I really gotta watch where I hoof step.
You could say that again.
What Queen Zipp means to say is that we forgive you. Perhaps we could start again? Yes, of course. My name's Izzy Moonbow.
The name's Queen Zipp. Queen Zipperina Storm of the Wasp Kingdom.
And I am Queen Pipp Petals, Queen of the Honeybee Kingdom. Actually, my hive isn't too far from the Great Oak, you know. But it's nice to meet you, Izzy Moonbow. We've never had the pleasure of actually speaking to a big hoof before.
That's because speaking to big hoofs isn't exactly recommended, Your Highness. But I guess it worked. At least on this one.
You said that this isn't the first time you visited Kimura Meadows, right? Right! I come here all the time. To do what? What do big hoofs do? All we do is see them stomp around in the meadow. Oh, we do much more than stomp around, I assure you, Your Majesty. I come here to read. It helps me to get away from all the city smog and all the bustling noise. It's quiet and peaceful here. Plus, I especially love hearing when it rains here in the meadows. Oh, rain is so relaxing. Oh, it is. We bees and wasps aren't able to fly in it, but the rain is quite relaxing, I agree. Plus, I love to come and look at all the beautiful wildflowers. Oh, yes, we bees love collecting pollen from them. Achoo! Oh, excuse me. There you are, you silly glasses.
Now hold up. Are you allergic to the flower pollen?
Only if I get close enough to the flowers for the pollen to get up my nostrils.
So, you come here even though the place makes you sneeze?
Yeah.
Huh. Gutsy. Come to a place even though it's gonna make you sick. Much like a true wasp would. I think I'm starting to like you, Big Hoof.
It's, Izzy.
Whatever you say, Big Hoof Izzy.
So, have you wasps and bees and possibly many other insects always been able to talk?
For as long as we've been eating the pollen.
What makes you sneeze is what helps us to speak and sing. Really?
Yeah, the pollen here is magical. When we eat it and when we take it and make it into honey, it allows us to sing and to speak.
And the same goes for anyone else who eats the pollen.
But the magic is most potent when it becomes honey, so we just like to make it into honey.
Unfortunately, a lot of the animals like to take the honey because of its magical properties.
That's one of the reasons why we don't just go talking to other big hoofs just because it's a good idea. You, my dear, just became the first exception.
Really? Why me?
Well, for one thing, you almost physically stepped on us. And for another thing, I was going to sting you.
Really?
But then little Miss Her Majesty here convinced me to talk it out first.
Queen Zipp is a sting first, ask questions later kind of insect. Oh, I see.
Hey, now don't look at me like that. Most wasps, who don't have the ability to speak, mind you, would have stung you right on the spot. And they wouldn't have been able to talk to the bees to hear any otherwise options. So you were lucky today, kid.
Huh. I guess I was lucky, huh? So you said you'd like to come to the meadow to get away from this thing called
the city. Yeah, I've heard it from my cousins. They have a nest up there in this city place. It's very, very loud and noisy and barely any pollen. Except for all the weeds in the alleyways that they can find. It's amazing what you can find in the city if you actually let things grow there.
Why would you have so few plants and choose to live there?
Some ponies like it that way, I guess. Not this pony.
That's why I come here so often. Helps me get away from normal life.
So where do you live, Big Hoof?
Actually, I live in a tree, just on the edge of the city. If you pass by this great oak and keep going south, eventually you'll come up to a big tree that looks like it has a colony resting in its branches. That's where I live with my sister. Ooh, you live in a tree too. How cool. Oh, you live in a tree too. Very nice. Oh, thank you. A lot of unicorns like me live in a tree.
Unicorns?
Yeah, that's what I am. Well, oh, darn it, look at the time. I better go home. But it was nice meeting you, Queen Zipp and Queen Pipp. It was lovely to meet you too, Izzy.
Don't squash any wasps or bees on your way out of the meadow.
I won't, I promise. I'll be careful. This time, I'll be careful. Very careful. Goodbye.
Bye. Huh. You know, had I not seen it with my own eyes, I wouldn't have believed it.
Believed what?
That a big hoof could actually be sociable. Well, guess it's time to clean up.
I believe so.
Your Majesty!
Your Majesty!
Blue! Sunny! Your Majesty! There's a... Chill out, soldiers! Take a breath! You're gonna die of hyperventilation before you have time to say anything. Now, tell me what the problem is.
We just came from the north, Your Majesty. There's a big hoof in the north corner. A big hoof in the north?
Okay, so what's the big hoof doing? Why are you two freaking out?
The big hoof brought a big yellow monster into the meadow, and it's destroying everything in its path. Flowers included, Your Majesty. Not the flowers.
What the hey is a big hoof doing that for?
We don't know, Your Majesty. We do know that some of Queen Pipp's bees are checking in on it. We don't know much about the big yellow monster. We tried to sting it, but the big yellow monster is impenetrable to any of our stinging attacks.
Impenetrable? Nothing's impenetrable.
The big yellow monster is. We've tried everything. We can't sting it. We've tried, but there's this invisible force field keeping us from getting to the unicorn so long as she's with the big yellow monster. Oh no, this isn't good.
Do you think that Izzy might be the big hoof in charge?
It can't have been Izzy. She was heading towards the south, and they came from the north.
Perhaps you're right. So then there must be a second big hoof doing this.
Yes.
Sunny, Blue, take us to this big yellow monster at once. It has to be. If it's destroying the flowers in the meadow, then it must be stopped. Take us to this big yellow monster, immediately!
Yes, Your Majesty! Yes, Your Majesty! I'm coming with you. Your soldier said so herself. Some of my bees are there with the big yellow monster. They could be in danger. Besides, if it concerns the wasps and the rest of the meadow, then this catastrophe concerns the bees.
Very well, Your Majesty. Follow us!
There's the big yellow monster.
Whoa. That is one horrendous looking thing.
And look! There are my worker bees down there. What in the world are they doing getting so close to that monster?
I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe we should check it out.
The intricate workings of this monster are incredible.
I agree, Hedge. But how is this gonna help us to take it down on Peg? I don't know. Maybe if we sting it, it'll go away. Ow! Ugh. Well, that didn't help. All I've got now is a sore beer. Volcano, we knew stinging didn't work for a while now. Remember when the wasps tried to sting it to death? Oh, yeah. Bees! Your Majesty! Oh, are you three all right? We're fine, Your Majesty, we're fine. Yeah, we went to look up at this big monster and see if we could find a weak spot.
But no such luck. It's as if it's made of super sturdy honeycomb.
And it can't be stung. Volcanoes tried at least once. Oh, my poor little bees. I hope it didn't hurt you.
No, in fact, it hasn't moved since the big hoof left. It's as if it's in cahoots with it. Or perhaps the big hoof is the one turning this monster on and off.
Perhaps you are right. Oh dear. This is just... Oh dear. Look at what it's doing to the meadow.
It's left a big pile of nothing but rocks and pebbles in its path. No flowers to be seen behind it.
It's destroying the meadow wherever it goes. We've got to get rid of it, Your Majesty. I agree, I know.
Okay. If we can't sting the monster to death, maybe we can sting the big hoof.
Are you sure that'll help? What if we sting and she tries to capture... What if we sting it and the big hoof tries to capture all of us? Ooh, I hate to say it, Your Majesty, but the Queen Bee might have a point. Maybe we can talk to this big hoof, like we did with Izzy.
Oh, sure. We talk to one big hoof and all of our problems will be solved just by talking to other big hoofs.
I didn't say that.
Then what did you say?
I said I believe that maybe there are other options than just violence.
Sometimes things can't be solved by anything other than violence, Your Majesty. Well, whatever you decide to do, Your Majesties, I'm afraid we're gonna have to choose fast.
Yeah, the whole entire meadow is at stake. If we lose the meadow, we lose our food, we lose the pollen,
and our ability to talk and sing.
What are we going to do, Your Majesties?